If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, you're missing out on quite a few hilarious things. It's normally stuff that I like to comment on, and I'm just making little crass jokes and all that stuff. It's not something that you wouldn't see over on YouTube. It's just normally topics that there's really not enough meat on the bone that's there that would make for a substantive video. It's just the way that it is. I could make the 4-minute long videos if you guys really want, but I've got a higher standard and I think more of my audience and that. That's just me though. That's just me. So every once in a while, I'll see a post like this, okay, from Raw Egg Nationalist, who's just super based, and he has a lot of funny posts that are out there, and interact with it. Interact with this page quite often. Checking in on Canada. Yes, it's as bad as I remember. Look at that right there. Okay, what are we even doing? My grandmother has chosen euthanasia after her terminal diagnosis. Oh, God, man, that sucks. So this is the last time I can take her out to dinner. I understand that you can indict the country for having, what do they call it, the MAID program, where, okay, if you want to die, we'll just go ahead and, punch you out if you want to. That's Canada in a nutshell right now when it comes to our health services. Oh, great. Oh, yeah, you're trying to schedule a back surgery? Oh, you got a broken arm? Well, have you considered dying? As the prevailing strategy right now, but I kind of seen this a little bit differently. Maybe it's because of the topics that I've immersed myself in a little bit more lately, or maybe I just see the world for the way that it is nowadays, and once you take the RP and you become RP aware, you just, those lenses, man, they never come off. Popular post, and yeah, I chimed in a little bit later. My grandmother is considering self-oof, which is my favorite way to describe checking out. Checking out's pretty good as well, but okay. And then, yes, how can I make this about me? Yeah, gentlemen, is with great sadness I inform you that women. Yeah, no, because that's what I'm seeing right here. Somebody trying to make a very horrific situation all about them. And then that led me to this. This one was making the rounds a few weeks ago, and then it resurfaced, I do believe, over the weekend. I've seen it come back around, so it's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, no, it all checks out. I'm never shocked by any of this stuff, okay? This is female nature on display. He can no longer provide you any protection and provisioning, so, hey, man. I don't hate women for doing this. It's just the way that they are. I dumped my man because he has cancer, and now I'm running in his honor. Okay, so my boyfriend's dying of cancer. How can I make this about me? Fantastic. She's putting her heart and soul into this race. For an ex? That's interesting. Like, she wants all of the benefit, and she wants all of the victimhood status that would be associated with being a widow. She also doesn't want to stick around with, just the icky parts of somebody clinging to life while being propped up by morphine and life support. Danielle Epstein. Oh my God, it's always. Anyways, says she's running the London Marathon on Sunday. Okay, so she would have already run this in honor of her ex-boyfriend, after leaving him because his cancer battle was damaging her mental health. Yeah, okay, cool. We need to take mental health seriously. Men's mental health, that's a big problem. But, hey, man, if a woman's affected, well, oh, my God, anything that I could do, right? Her ex, Jell Frenson, was diagnosed in September with a rare and aggressive type of brain cancer, a grade 4 medulloblastoma. Oh, that's easier to say than I thought. Just a lot of consonants that are there. At the age of 37. Oh, man, this guy's got stage 4 brain cancer, and she's like, nah, I'm going to go run a marathon. What? But I just want you to think, like, just reverse the genders on this one. Would anybody be writing a, I don't know about the rest of this article, but at least a neutral, if not somewhat positive article, if a guy dumped a woman in order to run a marathon? What sort of vitriol would this guy face? I'm just saying, man. Friesen had to learn how to walk again after 17 hours of brain surgery. Oh my God. He also underwent 6 weeks of radiation therapy and began 9 months of chemotherapy. The struggle was simply too much for Epstein at the time. Of course, she had an island to go take care of. I felt like, March, the most awful person. Of course, but not awful enough to stick around or help him out or help him grow his empire together or whatever other boilerplate answers that you'll get from a chick that's like, well, what do you want in a man? Somebody that I can help grow with, somebody that'll be there. I'm going to provide him emotional support. Yeah, this kind of disproves that. Just a little bit, though. Leaving somebody because they have cancer. But it was just damaging my mental health, and it wasn't helping Jell. Of course not, because I was trying to make everything about me, and he's over there drooling into a tube, trying to figure out how his feet work again. But I didn't feel like being around for that. I had, better options in my DMs, guys that had full access to their cognitive processes. Yo, shout out to this guy for, making it out the other side, okay? I consider, losing that chick. Okay, if he ever takes her back, maybe they took out the wrong part of his brain, but he lost some unnurturing bitch like that who just, well, I know you're like going through a tough time, but there's like a marathon I want to run, and like you're kind of a total buzzkill, and I'm not really liking like all of the white walls and the fluorescent lighting. That's like really hard on my skin, and I can't be here anymore. So I'll think about you. I'll write your name on my arm when I'm running a marathon, though. So this guy surviving rare brain cancer, making it out the other side, and losing some anchor around your waist. I consider this, 3 W's in a row. Shout out to him. And he's only 37, and he has a story like that. Man, that is an instant horror opener right there. Nobody has a better story than that. This guy's, yeah. As long as rehab goes well, he's going to pick up any bitch that he wants in there. Shout out to him. The physics teacher explained she was so worried and devastated, of course, about Frez, and that she was having trouble sleeping and eating. Imagine, even at a lower level, there's shit like this happening all the time. Like, there's stories. Like, you guys know, if you've been watching long enough, I'm a big supporter of the Fresh and Fit. And then their after-hours shows, not my favorite. I'm more of a person that leans towards their, regular edition content. I think there's extreme value. But when they're interviewing some of the girls that are on the after-hours show, I specifically remember one story about a girl who divorced her husband. If I can remember the video, I think it was an episode where I think Sneeko was on the panel. I'm not entirely sure if there was somebody else that was there, but you might be able to find it if you're looking for it. She was in a lengthy marriage with a guy, but he had back-to-back deaths in his family, and she ended up divorcing him because he wasn't the same after that. And it's like, yeah, of course. If you have a sequence of terrible events in your family and you don't want to be there for that, and that you're just going to divorce him and then take half of his stuff, that just goes to show you, man, female nature, protection and provisioning. That's what they prioritize among everything else. Don't get mad at it. Just understand that's the fucking way that it is. If you can't be that dude, they're going to go look for the next best option. It's always be ready for that. That's why men are the leaders in relationships. And then when the woman has the upper hand on that stuff, there is a shot clock that's running, because they'll look after you. Maybe for a day, maybe for a week, maybe for a month if you're lucky, and if you have enough invested interest, maybe for a year, but you got to get back up and running real quickly. And even still, there's going to be lingering resentment right there because you took some of my youth away from me. Yeah, I was dealing with, in his case, brain cancer. Meanwhile, there's guys that are out there right now that are doing time in prison based off of false allegations from a woman who would still unironically take those women back because they still love them. This also just goes to show you that if you're ever faced with that question, who loves more in a relationship, a man or a woman? I think it's pretty plain to see right here. Just learn from this. I'm not saying this is every girl that's out there. Just saying this can totally happen to you. But yeah, anyways, back to the poor non-brain cancer having woman. I was having panic attacks and was on so much medication to sort myself out that I couldn't function, she recalled. I don't care. I don't care. I still love Gel deeply. Sure you do. And want to support him. I want to support him, but at the same time, it's like hard and stuff. But I came to the realization I couldn't stay with him as a partner. Well, yeah, because if you have a partner, that's a big fat fucking L to begin with, but that's another story for another time. The pair split, and now Epstein is running the marathon in Friesen's honor to benefit brain tumor research. Well, that's fantastic. How are you helping him specifically? Felt so helpless watching all of this unfold, so I knew I had to do something. Oh, so you were just totally useless in that relationship. Fantastic. Nice self-snitching. The couple was buying a house together when Friesen, a Google software engineer, started to experience dizzy spells and vomiting. Oh, okay, so he was going to be buying a house. She was going to be moving in because she was, a physics teacher. Who makes more, a Google engineer or a physics teacher? I'll wait. Yeah, no, exactly. He could no longer, his mental capacities were being threatened. His ability to provide and give her security, that was being threatened. So that's why she went out of there. Oh, man. Yo, that's tough. That is tough. Doctors initially thought he was suffering from an ear infection. Good old, yes, the NHS, baby. Every single day of the week. But he sought out a private MRI after his vomiting worsened. Good old socialized healthcare. The scan found the tumor. Surgery revealed the mass in his brain was indeed cancerous. The type of cancer is the that's most often found in children, according to the Cleveland Clinic. Epstein said that she felt their whole lives came out from under them. No, his and your future was being threatened. Call it the way that it is. Surgery left Friesen with nerve damage, which resulted in some paralysis on the right side of his face. He also can't fully close one eye and has a squint that gives him double vision. We were on a certain path to a certain future. We were going to have a nice house. He was going to have a stable job. I could just go ahead and, doodle notes on the whiteboard, and then kids would somewhat pay attention to my lessons. But yeah, what's that about? Sickness and in health for richer and for poorer. It doesn't really seem like that checks out anymore. And within one day, we knew it wasn't going to work out like that anymore. After they broke things off. Do you think they broke things off? Epstein moved to Thailand to be with her father. Come on, man. They broke things off. Now the former couple is trying to work on a friendship. Yo, man, don't you even dare consider that. They're trying to work on a friendship. I would imagine, holy man. No, she's trying to, just throw a lead back in the water. It's like, oh yeah, no, if he can recoup, if he can overcome this and, still make all of that money as well, I might have some prospects after all. I'm not a runner, but Jell has done marathons before, and so I thought it would be a challenge for me and a nice tribute to him, and it felt like something to aim towards. That's fantastic how you're making this all about you. She said training for the London Marathon has been physically and mentally challenging, more or less than a rare stage 4 brain cancer. Just wondering. But it's nothing compared to what her ex has endured. Yes, I have the best motivation. Me. This is why you have to vet your bitches accordingly. It's funny we haven't seen a picture of her yet. If Jell can go through all of this, I can run a marathon. That's fantastic. She said that's incredible that she's running the 26.2 mile race. That's incredible that you'd ask me about this narcissistic bitch. When she said she was going to do a marathon, I must admit I had my doubts. He told SWNS. I think she only did about 3.1 miles when we were together, and that was with a lot of complaining. Oh, so she was just, right, your last name's Epstein. And she complains a lot. Oh, okay. I've got so much respect for her discipline and perseverance, he said through gritted teeth and one side of his mouth. Epstein started a Just the Giving page to fundraise for brain tumor research, which I wouldn't be shocked if we followed up on this in a few months' time and realized that, oops, none of that $12,500 ended up going to the cancer charity. She needed to work on her own mental health. I hate the story, but then I love it for as many truths that can be pointed out on this one. That's why I wanted to share it with all of you guys. Never, ever, ever underestimate how a tragedy can be spun to benefit a woman, even if they aren't the primary victims. They'll find their victimhood status. Trust me. But with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. One should follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.